never shot anybody. Never even touched that gun. Never fired the gun.
I'm advocating for Tory Lanez because the evidence shows that he's innocent, and he deserves to be pardoned by Governor Gavin Newsom. You know, he's 100% exonerated from the gun, and for that alone, he should be home with his family.
Tory Lanez getting a presidential pardon? That's the wild talk flying around right now, and it's getting louder by the minute. What started as just another messy celeb court case has taken a serious twist. Suddenly, big-time names are stepping up, strange alliances are forming, and it's starting to feel like there's a secret play being made behind the scenes. This ain't just about what went down that night anymore, and it's about who's trying to flip the script completely. From explosive courtroom headlines to whispers in high-up places, something major is shifting. And if the rumors are even halfway true, this could change everything. Not just for Tory, but for the whole story. Ever since Tory got locked up, the support hasn't stopped pouring in, but it's not just the fans riding for him. Now celebs and even political voices are chiming in too. We're talking names like Amber Rose, Drake, and Chris Brown, all speaking up in different ways, saying they don't think Tory got a fair shake and shouldn't be behind bars. Amber Rose especially is not staying quiet. She's been out here saying straight up she believes Tory is innocent. In a recent interview, she doubled down, claiming that the evidence just doesn't add up. And according to her, Governor Gavin Newsom should step in and pardon Tory. She's even arguing that the gun charge alone wasn't handled right, and for that reason alone, he deserves to be home with his family.
I'm advocating for Tory Lanez because the evidence shows that he's innocent, and he deserves to be pardoned by Governor Gavin Newsom. You know, he's 100% exonerated from the gun, and for that alone, he should be home with his family.
And let's be real, Amber's not new to calling out shady legal moves in the celeb world. Her opinion? It's getting attention. She also revealed that Tory personally called her from prison and spilled everything, and telling his side of the story in full detail. And there was one thing she couldn't ignore, that text message that's been flying all over the internet. A lot of folks thought that message was Tory low-key admitting guilt, but Amber says, nah, that's not what it meant at all. According to her, that message wasn't even about the shooting. She says it was tied to some personal drama, not the actual incident. And if people knew the truth, they'd be seeing this whole situation differently. So now the big question is, are people starting to shift their views? Because if the right names keep pushing, this case might just get a rewrite nobody expected. Now let's talk about Drake. He's usually low-key when it comes to legal drama, but even he made a move that had everyone doing a double take.
I heard the whole story from Tory's mouth. He called me personally from prison, and I now understand why he said sorry, and it's not for any shooting at all. So I'll let him tell that story when he comes home, but the sorry was not for what people think.
He posted a petition on his Instagram story, publicly, asking Governor Gavin Newsom to pardon Tory Lanez. And next to that petition, just 3 little words. Come on soon. Simple, but loud. Considering how calculated Drake is with his image, this post wasn't just random. That message hit hard because Drake doesn't just attach his name to anything. Fans went wild, and suddenly the whole case was back in the spotlight. People were like, if Drake's showing support, then maybe there's really something deeper going on here. Now, other celebs might not be making big speeches or interviews, but folks are catching the quiet moves, and trust these moves speak volumes. Some stars are still following Tory Lanez on socials. Meanwhile, a few have low-key stepped away from Megan Thee Stallion. It's subtle, but people are watching. Like Kim Kardashian, she's been caught vibing to Tory's music recently. $sign AP Rocky still follows Tory, but not Megan. Justin Bieber? He unfollowed Megan not long ago, but he's still following Tory. These little shifts might not seem like much, but in Hollywood, that's major T. Fans are right there in the mix too. The comment sections are going crazy with people demanding Tory's release. One fan even wrote, "Release Tory Lanez, he innocent." And sure, some of this seems like small social media noise, but in the celebrity world, every like, follow, or unfollow is a statement. And now everyone's wondering who's really on whose side. But here's where it starts getting really wild. This thing has officially jumped from celebrity gossip to a full-blown political circus. Yup, Tory's case has crossed into government territory now, and the pressure is real. Out of nowhere, a conservative congresswoman named Anna Paulina Luna stepped into the ring, and she's not holding back. She called out Governor Newsom directly, demanding Tory's sentence be thrown out. She's claiming the case was stacked with shaky evidence, political pressure, and major bias from the start. She's saying this whole thing needs a redo, and fast. And guess what? She didn't stop there. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna didn't just make noise. She promised explosive proof would drop within 36 hours, something big enough to flip the whole Tory Lanez case upside down. But Megan's camp? They're not having any of it. Her lawyer clapped back hard, saying Tory was rightfully convicted in a fair trial, plain and simple. And Megan herself? She went off on social media. She posted loud and clear, "Facts don't lie." Megan called out anyone siding with Tory, claiming they're just part of some massive internet hate wave trying to rewrite reality. She made it clear, she's not backing down. So now, the battle lines are officially drawn. The tension is thick, the stakes are sky high, and everyone's eyes are locked on the next move. But just when things seemed like they couldn't get any more intense, they did. Tory was attacked in prison, and we're not talking about some minor fight. He was stabbed 14 times. He ended up with a collapsed lung and had to be rushed onto a breathing machine to stay alive. This wasn't just scary, like it was life-threatening. Now here's where it gets shady. Right before this attack, rumors started flying that new evidence was about to drop, something that could possibly clear Tory's name. And the timing? Way too suspicious. Word in the streets is that the attack wasn't random. Whispers are circling that maybe someone powerful didn't want Tory to speak, or to be freed. Some are even pointing fingers at Roc Nation, Megan's powerhouse label, suggesting they might have had a hand in trying to keep Tory silenced for good. Whether it's true or not, one thing's clear, there's a dangerous game going on behind the scenes.
Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times by another inmate at a California prison. He suffered 2 collapsed lungs, but we are told he is now breathing on his own.
Meanwhile, the pressure to free Tory is building like never before, and just when it seemed like the drama peaked, Tory's legal team came through with a bombshell. They dropped new evidence that could change everything, pointing the finger at someone else entirely. According to them, the real shooter might not have been Tory at all, but Kelsey Harris, Megan's former best friend and the other woman tied to that night. If this holds up, the case might take a wild turn no one saw coming. Now here's where things get straight up wild. Kelsey Harris, and the same woman who was right there the night it all went down, pleaded the fifth when asked if she saw Tory shoot Megan. Let that sink in. She didn't say yes, didn't say no, just stayed silent, and you gotta ask, why stay quiet unless there's something to hide? But that's not all. Tory's team dropped an actual audio clip from the night of the shooting. In it, he claims you can clearly hear one of the defense's own witnesses telling police that the shots came from a woman. That witness described the whole scene like something out of a movie, a full-on catfight. Kicking, scratching, chaos everywhere. According to him, the driver even jumped out to break up the fight between Megan and Kelsey, while Tory, he supposedly never left the back seat, just sat there, not part of the mess at all. If all that's true, then yeah, it's starting to sound like Tory might have really been innocent, and maybe that presidential pardon folks keep shouting about. It's not as far-fetched as it seemed. Tory also spoke out from prison, saying the prosecutor lied in court about his DNA. The claim that the DNA evidence was inconclusive. But Tory says that's not the truth. His DNA was completely excluded from the gun. If that's real, how did they even convict him? Something just doesn't line up here, and it's not just Tory saying it. Now a legal advocacy group called Unite the People, which fights for social justice, stepped into the spotlight. At a recent press event, their lead attorney, Walter Roberts, dropped a straight-up bombshell. Roberts claimed that Kelsey Harris's own bodyguard, Bradley James, heard her admit she was the one who pulled the trigger that night. According to him, Tory never fired a shot. He was trying to stop it all from happening. Bradley says Tory didn't even have the gun when it went off, and instead he was trying to wrestle it away to stop the violence. And during the struggle, the gun fired multiple times. If this is true, it completely wrecks the story the prosecution ran with in court. And what's even crazier, this new story lines up with what other witnesses said, that the night was pure chaos and nothing was as clear-cut as people made it seem. So here's what's really being whispered on the streets. That whole night wasn't about Tory Lanez wilding out. It was about 2 women locked in a heated fight, and Tory, he was just stuck in the middle of it all. And the wild part? It ain't just random witnesses defending him. His own father is out here yelling from the rooftops that his son's being framed. Tory's dad, Sunstar Lanez, pulled up to the courthouse and lit it up with a fiery speech to the media. You could see the emotion all over his face. He wasn't holding anything back.
So the girl comes out of the rear passenger and she goes to the front passenger.
Yes.
And she opens up the car door.
Yes.
And then what happens?
They're screaming and shouting at each other and they start fighting.
The 2 girls.
Yeah, I can see one like feet coming out trying to kick her and the other one's fighting, and then the passenger gets out.
He pointed the finger straight at Megan Thee Stallion and her squad, especially Roc Nation and its heavy hitters like Jay-Z. And I said, I just witnessed the biggest injustice right here in Los Angeles, he declared. With cameras rolling, Sunstar named names. Megan's lawyer Alex Spiro, Roc Nation's COO Desiree Perez, and of course Jay-Z himself. He said they're all part of a corrupt system that's been working overtime to take Tory down. And now, rumors are heating up that Tory's been sitting in prison for something he didn't even do. All that new evidence people have been talking about, it's lining up, and folks are saying this case never should have gone the way it did. That's why the push for a presidential pardon has blown up, and because more and more people are thinking Tory might have been used as a pawn in something way bigger. But here's the twist. Not everybody is happy about this push for his freedom. Word is, Meghan and Jay-Z are not here for it. Insiders are saying there's some serious pressure being applied behind the scenes to keep Tory right where he is, locked up. Why? Well, Meghan is signed to Roc Nation, and the rumors say Jay-Z's team has a lot riding on keeping this case closed. Some are even saying that when Tory turned down a deal to sign with Roc Nation, it sparked major tension. Supposedly, Jay-Z didn't like the idea of Tory staying independent, and from that point on, things got messy fast. Now people are wondering, was this ever really about justice, or was it about power? And now the streets are buzzing, and social media is on fire with people calling out Jay-Z directly. Folks are accusing him of not standing up for the culture and instead using his influence to decide who gets to shine and who gets shut down. Some are even saying Roc Nation only backed Meghan's legal team to keep Tory's name dirty and buried in controversy.
I am 100% excluded, not inconclusive like they said when I was in trial. I'm 100% excluded from this gun when it comes to DNA.
But now that this presidential pardon talk is blowing up, sources say Meghan and Jay-Z are scrambling behind the scenes trying to shut it all down. Word is they didn't see this level of momentum coming. They weren't ready for the public to start siding with Tory, and now it's full panic mode. The whispers say they're working overtime to block any new evidence from going public and trying to stop this pardon from ever reaching the president's desk. It's a straight-up power play, and the whole world's watching to see how it goes down. Because if Tory actually pulls off this presidential pardon, that's not just freedom, that's a huge statement. A pardon would mean the system got it wrong, and that flips everything. For Tory, it could be the comeback of a lifetime and a major win for his name, his music, and everybody who's been screaming that he was wrongly convicted. But for the other side, it's a serious threat. See, if Tory walks free and the pardon gets granted, it puts a big question mark on Meghan's version of events, and that could rattle everything Roc Nation's built around this story. It's not just about a courtroom win anymore, it's about careers, brands, and reputations that have been built on this narrative. Tory's supporters are looking at this like it's finally their shot at justice. They believe he was caught in a system twisted by politics and shaky evidence. And now with new witness accounts, affidavits, and legal heat coming in hot, they see a real chance to turn the tables. But that's why this fight ain't just happening in court, it's blazing on social media, in interviews, in the press, everywhere. And every move now could be the one that changes everything. And just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, boom, insiders are now claiming that someone is leaking sealed info from behind the scenes. We're talking court transcripts, private convos, and legal motions that were never meant to see daylight, suddenly showing up online, and guess who it's making look bad? Not Tory, but the people who've been pushing to keep him locked up. These leaks are throwing shade on the prosecution and even hint at behind-the-scenes pressure to push a certain version of the truth. Some documents suggest that key testimonies were either ignored or twisted to fit a narrative. And now, Tory's team is reportedly prepping to use all of that in a legal counterattack. On top of that, a few lawyers not even connected to the case are starting to weigh in, and they're not staying quiet. Some are questioning why certain pieces of evidence were dismissed while others with less weight were front and center. One legal analyst even said, if this case gets reopened with everything we're seeing now, it could explode. Meanwhile, Tory supporters are taking this all the way viral. They're making videos, running hashtags, tagging officials, and demanding answers. It's not just about music fans anymore. It's become a movement. People are calling this one of the wildest legal dramas the industry's seen in years. So now, every hour counts, every new detail, every post, every statement is being watched like a hawk. Because if this case really blows open, it won't just shake up Tory Lanez's world, it could bring a massive storm crashing down on some of the biggest names in the game. This ain't just a case anymore, it's a battle for the whole narrative. Everyone's fighting for control, and the stakes, they couldn't be higher. The talk of a presidential pardon has pushed this into a full-blown showdown, where the justice system might have to face the truth. Either admit it got it wrong, or double down on a shaky conviction that's already cracking under pressure. Let's keep it real, like a pardon like this isn't just paperwork, it's a statement. One that could flip Tory Lanez's name from guilty to vindicated, rip apart Meghan's version of events, and throw major heat on the big names behind her, including Roc Nation and Jay-Z himself. And that's exactly why the pushback is turning ugly. The louder the support for Tory gets, the more desperate the silence and moves from the other side seem. People are watching it all unfold like a chess match, and every move matters. So now the big question is, what's next? Does the White House really step in? Could we hear something as wild as "I hereby pardon Tory Lanez" coming from President Trump or anyone in power? Is this case finally about to crack wide open with new evidence tipping the scales? Or are we just headed into another wild twist in a saga no one could have predicted? This story ain't even close to finished, and whatever happens next could change everything for Tory, for Meghan, and for the whole game. So drop your thoughts in the comments. Who's telling the truth? Who's hiding something? And do you think a pardon is on the way? And if you're ready for the next bombshell, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because this drama's far from over.